starting out with a strap this morning. So, and if you want to be smart, which is very hard on a Monday morning to be smart, put that little loop in there before we get down there in that awkward position. So about the size of your foot, a little foothold loop in that D-ring. Yeah, if you guys can notice the side of my leg here, I've got my little Sweet Piece yoga pants on here. I'm going to turn my back to everybody at home, and we're going to have that strap close by. Just settle here for a moment, stretch onto your mat, lengthen the arms overhead. Point the toes, maybe flex the ankles, just kind of warm up those feet just a little bit. Point and flex. Maybe interlace your fingers and press your palms away. Get that stretch into the fingers and the wrist. And then settle with your arms, maybe alongside of you. Take them out to the sides, maybe to a little low V position. Just connect with your breath. So just taking a couple of nice inhales here and exhales. Let's go ahead and bend both knees, plant the feet to the mat. We'll just twist it out here, knees going both directions, just choose your speed. Just a gentle twist, loosening the hips and the spine. And then slowing that down, let's grab a hold of our strap with that loop in it and set your foot right into that loop and extend your leg. Try to straighten that knee. And look at your hand on the strap and make sure that your wrist is kind of in a neutral position and your grip is somewhat light. So we actually want to engage our core just a little bit to help keep this leg lifted up. Now if you want to gently walk your hands up the strap just a little bit closer to your foot, you can, but make sure that your knee doesn't buckle and that your elbow's nice and long. If you are somebody that can reach all the way up to your big toe without hunching the shoulders up, feel free to do that as well. But try here to just let that leg be suspended. We're just getting that little hamstring stretch in there. This is absolutely the safest way to stretch our hamstrings. Better than down dog, better than a forward fold, better than a seated forward fold. If you want, you can take your left leg long onto your mat, flex that left ankle as if you were standing on the left foot. And then very carefully, just opening that right leg out to the side, getting some hip opening. Try to keep your left hip anchored to the mat. Try not to let it lift. Just go to that point where you got that great stretch in that inner thigh. And then very carefully lift that right leg back up. Take the strap into your left hand and your right hand right into that right hip crease and anchor that right hip as you just go maybe about 40 degrees across your body. You want that IT band stretch. And then go ahead and let that right leg continue to go all the way across into a full twist. So your right hip is coming up and over, and try to stay grounded through the shoulders. Maybe if your neck is okay with this idea, turn and look over your right shoulder. As you're holding on to that strap with your left hand, make sure that the grip is light and that the arm, the elbow is nice and long. We don't want to muscle and pull. And then very carefully coming back up. Go ahead and release that foot from the strap, and let's hug both knees into the chest. A little rock here, side to side. And then we'll switch the strap, loop into the left foot. So I initially like to keep this right knee bent, and this is just to give our back a little bit of support. So keeping that right foot grounded to the mat and just working on the extension of this left leg, and maybe, you know, walking the hand up towards the foot a little closer. So these hamstrings are just, they're pretty delicate actually. They go from the knee, below the knee, they cross two joints, the hip and the knee. So you kind of got to get comfortable with what proportion of a stretch is good for your body. And you don't want to tweak those back muscles. So once you're comfortable with this level of stretch, then you can take that right leg long if you want. Flex the ankles if you were standing on it. If you feel that your back's not quite comfortable with that idea, then feel free to, you know, bend that knee and plant it back to the mat. All right, loosen the grip, loosen that elbow just a little, and then take the strap into your right hand, and your left hand goes right into that hip crease on the left side, just crossing the midline. Actually, we forgot to open, but we'll go ahead and do this first. Crossing 45 degrees. If Jody was here live with me, she would have caught this. But that's okay, we won't forget it. We'll open up after we do this twist. So anchoring that left hip, getting into the IT bands. And then very slowly let that left hip rise up, come into your full twist. Look over that left shoulder, ground through the shoulder blades. Just settle here in your twist. Loosen that grip on the right hand. Make sure you're not muscling that right leg or that left leg. So you don't want to pull with the strap too much here. All right, next inhale. Reach that leg back up to the sky. You're taking your left hand to the strap, and yes, we want to open this hip out to the side. So use your right hand on top of that right hip to anchor the hip down and just ease that leg open. And next inhale, reach that leg back up. Go ahead and slip your foot out of the loop. Set your strap aside. Hug your knees into your chest. We're going to start to roll like a ball from the tailbone to the shoulder blades. Keep your chin nice and tucked into your chest. Just engaging the core here a little bit. If this feels good, maybe just a couple more rocks. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and come on up to a cross-legged Sukhasana pose. All right. And we're just going to roll the shoulders out just a little bit. So inhale, scrunch those shoulders up to your ears. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more time. And exhale. And inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And on your exhale, go ahead and take a twist to your right. Stay nice and tall through the torso. Light fingertips on this right hand. Inhale, reach up. Full breath. Exhale, left. Gentle gaze over your shoulder. Inhale, reach up. One more time each side. Exhale. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale on the twist. Inhale, reach up. Bring the palms together. The gaze goes up. And then draw those hands into the heart space. Let's just pause here for a moment. So it's the beginning of our week. So maybe it's just setting an intention for your week, maybe for your day, maybe for your practice. And then on your next inhale, let's come on to hands and knees. And we'll take a couple of cat and cow poses. So you guys all know the routine here. Ideally, we're gonna inhale, lift the heart and the chest, spread across the collarbones, breathing in to expand the chest. And then on the exhale, navel to the spine, cat pose. Back to inhale for cow. And exhale, rounding for cat. And if you want to switch your breath and you want to exhale when you come into cow and inhale when you come into cat, kind of a personal preference. As long as you're moving with your breath. One more round here. Full breath. And then coming to a neutral spine here just for a moment. We're going to do two versions of child's pose. The first version, we're going to walk the knees all the way together. Draw your shins and your calves together, your thighs together. It's like you're zipping them together. And then we're going to sit our hips back towards our heels. And we're going to collapse and fold forward. Now, this Monday morning, you may find that it's a long way down to find that mat. If that's the case, stack your hands underneath your head, but you want to keep your hips rooting towards your heels. Bring your awareness to your breath. Feel that breath expanding your back body. And then we're going to come back up to hands and knees. And we're going to walk our knees wide, almost as wide as your mat, maybe even a little wider if that's comfortable for you. And then take your big toes together, sit your hips back, and start to walk your arms forward. So here, finding a little bit more opening into the hips, a little longer spine, a little more opening in the shoulders, and a whole lot more room to breathe. Take advantage of this room to breathe. Full inhales, full exhales. Going forward in this COVID world, this is going to be the best pose to work on our breath. Especially if you don't have a mask on. Start to walk yourself back up to hands and knees. Isn't it good to just be able to breathe and not be paranoid that that breath is going in the wrong places? Let's take that right foot forward and let's just start to come into a lunge. So we're going to start flowing here in just a little bit. If you need to make any adjustments on that back knee, it may just be as simple as tucking the back toes under and lifting that knee up. Maybe setting it back down, and whenever you're ready, let's reach those arms up, crescent moon pose. And then on your exhale, take your left hand down, even with the right foot, twist open to the right. Still flowing. Exhale, take that right hand down to the mat. We're going to sweep that right foot back. We're going to find pointer dog. Couple breaths here. Inhale, lengthen, foot and hand. Exhale, draw the knee to the elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach. One more time. Knee to elbow, core strengthening. Inhale, lengthen and reach. And we'll take that left hand down, right knee down, and step the left foot forward. So initially, just finding that lunge. You can tuck the toes under, lengthen that right leg back, lifting the knee, perhaps setting the knee back down. Inhale, crescent moon pose. Pendulum of the arms right below the shoulders, or hands right below the shoulders, and then we're going to twist open to the left. And then that left hand comes down, sweep that left heel back, find pointer dog. Your balance will be maintained maybe a little easier here if your gaze is down at your mat, just helps to ground you. Lengthen fingertips to heel. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Kind of draw that knee to the elbow. Cat, and think about a little bit of a cat back here. Inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, tuck in, knee to elbow. Inhale, stretching. Exhale, last time, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach. Take the hand and the knee down. And let's take the hips back for either version of child's pose, or if you want to be somewhere between, that's as wonderful as well. All right, next inhale, come up to hands and knees, tuck those toes under, root the hips back to down dog. Maybe pedal the legs out, walk the dog. Hamstrings should be feeling pretty good after our strap work. And then let's step our feet forward towards our hands and just hang like a rag doll. Sway here. Slight bend to the knees, let go of the head, neck, and shoulders. And then inhale, bend the knees, root to rise. We'll come all the way up to standing. All right, I kind of totally lost you guys. I might have to go way back here to still be in the camera. All right, exhale, hands to the heart space. All right, I know you guys don't have to see me at home to know what's coming next, right? All right, so we're gonna do a couple of sun breaths, right? Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge and fold over. Forward fold. Inhale, come on up halfway, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise again. Palms meet overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart space. One more sun breath. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold over. Use your next inhale. Come on up halfway. Exhale, fold. And inhale, root to rise. Come all the way up. Palms meet overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart space. Awesome. All right, inhale. Reach the arms up overhead. On your exhale, fold over. And then let's just walk our feet back or our hands forward. Find your down dog on your mat. Root those hips back. Perhaps just a little slight bend in the knees. And we're going to take that right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Energize that entire leg, toes, knees, thigh, hip. Reach it up as high as you can. Take one more inhale to prepare here. And on your exhale, we're going to draw that knee in towards the nose. Maybe slightly wave out to a plank. And then inhale, take that leg back up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Same version as we did in hands and knees. We're just now in down dog. Inhale, reach it up to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Three-legged dog. All righty, now this time we're gonna take that knee in towards our chest. Squeeze it up into your chest, use your core muscles, and then swing that foot forward towards your right hand. Nice. All right, plant that back left foot. We're gonna rise up, warrior one. If this bothers this back left knee at all, pivot on that back knee coming into lunge. That's all the difference is between warrior one and lunge. It's just how that back foot is placed. One more breath here. Pivot open, warrior two. You can wiggle your feet just a little bit to get that heel to heel alignment. And flip that right palm up, reverse your warrior. All right, exhale, take those hands down to the mat. Just step back to down dog. Pedal the legs out here if you'd like. And then we're going to take that left leg up high to the sky, three-legged dog. So I know this leg is kind of out of sight, out of mind. So really engaging everything that you can, the back of the thigh muscles, point the toe perhaps, lift, 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 straighten the knee. Inhale, lift up another inch or two, and then exhale, knee to nose. Round the back just a little, wave out to plank. Inhale, take that leg right back up, three-legged dog. Continue to energize this leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen, reach up behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, core work. Inhale, three-legged dog. This time, knee comes to your chest. You're making as much space as you can to step that left foot forward. Plant the back right foot, rise up. Warrior one. Or perhaps you prefer to protect that knee a little bit and come into lunge. Try to sink the shoulders into their sockets. Energy out the fingertips. Nice full inhale. Pivot open, warrior two. Gazes over your left fingertips. Flip that left palm up, reverse your warrior. All right, go ahead and cartwheel those hands down to the mat. Let's step back to down dog. On your next inhale, rise up on your tippy toes, wave out to plank. And you can have your knees down or up. We're gonna lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, come on up to cobra. And then take your forearms out in front of you. We're just gonna stay here for a moment in Sphinx pose. All right, so remember we talked about that strap. I'm hoping that strap is within reach. And we're gonna take the left hand across to the right elbow. You're gonna bend that right knee. All right, so even if you would normally be able to reach your hand to the foot, I want us to take that strap, try to lasso the foot with that loop that you made, and hold on to the strap. Turn your palm up like you were a waitress. All right, so press your hips to the mat. Start to grip the strap lightly and bring your elbow first out to the side and then point it forward. So that shoulder's rotating in the socket. Push a little bit of the foot into the strap just to turn on those back muscles. This is bow pose. If you feel strong here, maybe you float that left arm up and even the left leg up. A lot of strength in the back muscles. All right, exhale. Go ahead and release. Whew. And slip that strap off. Go ahead and come all the way down to your belly. Turn your cheek one way or the other. And just to release that low back, let's bend our knees. And just a little windshield wiper from side to side. And next inhale, we're coming back up to our forearms. And the right hand goes across your mat. Bend your left knee. Take your strap, loop it around this left foot. Palm is face up, out to the side. Angle the elbow outwards, rotate in that shoulder socket to pull the elbow in front. And then kick the foot just a little bit into that strap. Very nice. Immediately we feel the back engage, right? So it helps you to lift your chest a little bit. Perhaps you float that right arm and right leg up for bow pose. Unless you had a huge breakfast. We yogis know not to eat before yoga. All right, exhale, go ahead and release everything back to the mat, unhook your foot. This time we're just gonna maybe stack our hands and rest our forehead on top of our hands. Maybe a little rock here with the neck going side to side. Massaging that forehead. Breathing. If you want to bend the knees again and windshield wipe the shins from side to side, just releasing that low back. And lowering the legs. Let's bring our hands alongside of our chest. Fingertips facing forward. Squeeze those elbows in. Tuck your toes under. Let's muscle our way up to plank. Maybe pause here in this full plank, reaching from the crown of the head to the heels. Slight bend to the knees, root the hips back, find down dog. Keep rooting the hips back. Try to get the weight out of the wrists, out of the shoulders. Give yourself that little knee bend. Look up to your hands. Jump or step your feet forward. Rise up halfway. Lengthening the spine, gazes down at your mat. And exhale, fold. Now while we're down here, let's go ahead, very efficient here, grab your strap. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart space. I'm very efficient today. All right, so that was all preparation for our standing pose. So we're basically gonna do exactly what we just did on our belly, but standing. So you can go to a wall or a table, chair, something, if you want to hold on to something. Sue, you can grab that little table there at the end. You're good, all right. So what we're gonna do is first take your right foot and lasso that right foot into your loop. Okay, all right. We want to find that gazing point. We want to find that nice solid part of the ground. We just want to maybe pick up that right foot, bending the knee, thighs maybe stay parallel. So you're going to just manipulate that strap in your hand so that the palm is up, and the grip needs to be light, because as you go through this posture, you're going to want to slip through that strap to angle your elbow out to the side and then point it up towards the sky. And then maybe just add a little push of the foot into the strap. Options: take the left arm up or also take it to the strap. And go ahead and release when you're ready. And let's just take a little forward fold in between sides. Inhale, lift up, full breath. You can drop the strap if you want. We'll pick it up when we come down. Exhale, fold over. Let all that breath out. Inhale, come on up halfway. Exhale, fold. Grab your strap again, very efficient. Inhale, all the way up. And exhale, lower the hands. All right, we're going to take the strap loop into the other side. All right. So you want to bring your hand out to the side and rotate that palm so it's open out to the side. And then you want to ground down through the other solid leg, the right leg. Find your gazing point. Just maybe bend that left knee. So you're kind of walking your hand into the strap, keeping that grip nice and light. You're going to rotate that elbow out and then rotate that elbow up. Push the foot into the strap gently, not too fast. Options to take the right arm up. Maybe both hands come to the strap. And release. Take your foot out of the strap, drop that strap off to the side of your mat. Awesome. Okay. Let's head to the back of our mats. Take a nice deep inhale, reach up for the sky. Exhale, fold and hinge over. Let all the breath out. Now on your inhale, we're going to walk ourselves out to plank. We're just going to do one vinyasa here. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, peel up cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Root the hips back and away. Open up those shoulders. Slight bend of the knees, look to your hands. We're just going to take those little squatty steps towards your hands. Perhaps cross at your ankles, slowly lower down. If you want to come to hands and knees first, you can. Make sure you don't prop on the thumb on the way down here. All right, we're just going to sit here in Sukhasana pose, turn the palms up. Notice how you feel. Maybe warmed up. See if you can even out the inhales and the exhales. And then blinking your eyes open. Before we wind up our practice, we have time for a little bit of core work. So we're going to hug those knees into our chest, maybe wrap our arms around our shins, maybe find that little balancing pose. You can stay here, lengthening the neck, squeezing the knees into your chest. You can consider this our upright child's pose, where it just kind of allows a little bit of stretch in the back as you hug those knees in nice and tightly. We are engaging the core just a little bit. You can keep squeezing those knees into the chest. You can open the arms up. Very slowly start to lift the knees up, but just make sure that you don't straighten those legs too fast. You want to keep the back nice and long, core working. Boat pose. Actually, try this in the swimming pool sometimes. It's very strengthening for the core. It works. All right, slowly take those feet down to the mat. If you don't have enough room to lower down to your back, go ahead and take a little inchworm forward. And then slowly make it all the way down to your back. Option here to twist it out. Or if you are a pigeon lover, and I know many of us are, you can cross the ankle over your knee and thread the hands behind the thigh. Soften the shoulders, lengthen through the neck, and then switching sides. You can use this time any way you want. If you would prefer to come into a bridge pose or a wheel or a shoulder stand. This is your time, this is your practice. Whatever you feel like you are warmed up to do. And maybe just one more pose of your choice. And that could be a happy baby, a bridge, set of twists. If you have a block handy, it could be bridge on a block. If you haven't switched sides, go ahead and switch sides. Make sure you've evened out your stretches. And whenever you're ready, starting to make your way into Shavasana. This could include taking the arm of your sweatshirt and resting it across your eyes. Lengthening the legs out onto your mat. Wiggling your shoulder blades so they come underneath your back and your palms face upwards. The last thing you want to do here in your Shavasana pose is just let that shift happen of allowing your breath to return to its normal pace. Just being. very slowly start to move again. You can start anywhere you want, fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Maybe take a nice long stretch here. And when you're ready, rolling on to either your left or your right side. Just pausing for a moment. Maybe recalling that intention you set at the beginning of practice. Or perhaps if you didn't set an intention, maybe setting an intention now. Using that top hand to press up to a seated position. Remember to bring the yoga off the mat with you today. Hands come to the heart space. Light in me honors that same light in each one of you. Namaste.